truth. Regardless of what, you know this is the truth. Regardless of what, we gon' give you the truth.
All right, welcome back to the Elly Show. I'm your host, Elly, and we are still in episode 8 at the Malcolm X Festival celebrating 32 years. Y'all make some noise for that, please. All right. So we out here with this lovely crowd, and on my left I got Baba AK right here, who's you part founder of this, right?
Yes.
So you,
definitely.
Yeah, man. So talk to us about this Malcolm X Festival.
Man,
the
Malcolm
whole
X Festival has gone on for 32 years.
Yes.
The first year we had this piece, well, the reason we had it, let me tell you what happened.
Yes.
I think it was in '88 on Martin Luther King's birthday.
Wow.
The Ku Klux Klan decided they were going to march down the street of Atlanta. And they were protected by the city police, the state police, everybody.
Yeah.
And they had a permit. So my thinking was, well, wow, if they could have Ku Klux Klan can march on our streets, why can't we do something for one of our heroes, one of our ancestors, Malcolm X? And it was no obstacle. I expected an obstacle, but it was no obstacle. And that just shows sometimes we think it's going to be one, and it ain't one. But we had it. And I'll tell you the truth, the first year we had it, wasn't nobody here. It was about 20 people here.
And that's when it was down there?
It was down there in the baseball field. The group, if you remember, old Atlanta people will remember the hip-hop group Success in Effect.
Okay.
With the song Roll It Up.
Okay.
Go look for it on
Success in Effect?
Success in Effect.
Okay.
And they performed. They came here and performed at the festival. And it was hype for just that 20 people, but it was only 20 people here.
And this is in the beginning.
That was the first year.
Wow.
The first year. It was only about 20 people. But we stayed consistent.
Yeah.
And we grew it. We just kept on working and working. Probably a breakthrough year was, I believe it was either 1992 maybe. 92. We had Arrested Development perform.
Right.
And people came out, but it was also around the time of the Rodney King uprising. So and if you remember during that time, students in the AU Center was hyped.
Yeah.
And I know from working in education, prior to that period of time, and prior to us going to Forsyth County and protesting that, a lot of people believed there was no longer any racism. So I think that particularly with the youth during that time, made them more aware. And you could also remember during that time, or maybe you can't, I keep on forgetting how young you are. But also, we had hip hop like Public Enemy, KRS-One, even NWA coming out with After Police.
Right.
It was a lot of consciousness in the music, and it was beginning to enlighten a whole lot of people. Whole righteous teachers, a whole lot. And then the 5%ers were very powerful.
So did you reach out to them, or they started gravitating to it?
People just gravitated to it. Again, we reached out to the West End area.
Yeah.
We reached out to the AU Center.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we had high school students coming during that time.
What made you want to pick the West End Park here?
Man, we were talking about that the other day. It just, when we discussed it with different people, they said this was a place, because I hadn't too long lived in Atlanta.
Right, where you from, bro?
I'm from Compton, California. I'm from Compton, California. And we moved out here to start our organization, the New African People's Organization that grew into Malcolm X Grassroots.
Okay.
And so
you're the grass movement.
Pardon?
You are part of the grass movement.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Okay.
So when we, and Malcolm X also at that point, there was a kind of rebirth of consciousness of Malcolm X that was coming through the hip hop.
Yeah, exactly.
For the most part.
Yeah.
So hip hop played an important role in this genesis of the festival.
Of the festival coming together.
Of the festival. And now I really feel it's become so much of a tradition in the city of Atlanta that if we didn't sponsor it, people would still come out and still have it. So it's become, I feel, a part of our culture. And as what just mentioned, part of the emphasis of the Malcolm X Festival is to promote Pan-Africanism, that we're all one African people, to promote our culture, to promote that we need self-determination. You hear people mention about our political prisoners and prisoners of war.
Absolutely.
We want them to be free. We can't imagine having anything and forgetting about those who struggle for our people, or those like Asada Shakur, who are in exile for fighting for our people. So we really emphasize those principles, because along with Malcolm X, one of our fears was at that time that if you don't put some content to who Malcolm X was, he'll look completely different, you know, years in the future. So we want to make sure we put those principles of us fighting for our human rights, that we know genocide is occurring to our people here and around the world. We're opposed to that. We want to free our political prisoners, but ultimately, we believe we need to be self-determined, we got to control our own politics, on economics, our own culture. And so that's what's reflected here. We know this neighborhood, there's an attempt to gentrify it now. So we want to keep and plant in the soil our culture and the power of our ancestors to keep us on the right course.
Got you. Baba A.K., all these years I've known you, I ain't even never sit down and talk to you like this to understand.
We need to do that, because it's always been love.
Movement. Yeah, man,
it's always been love.
And I never knew that. Let me ask you this, Baba A.K., what kind of impact you think, since from as you watched it from the birth seed of the festival becoming to now, the impact it's had on the community?
I think one is, and I think it has particular significance last year and this year coming out of COVID, or with people feeling they could come out during COVID. This didn't exist. But I think it's a reunion. So even prior to COVID, just people maybe haven't seen each other. They were able to connect and feel each other. And it's intergenerational. As you look, there are children here.
That's right.
As well as their elders here. Lots of children. And they feel safe here.
Absolutely.
They feel safe here. So I think the family element, the extended family and the community element, becomes one of the institutions that our people in the city identify with. But we have people coming from other places. Another thing is the vendors are an important part of it.
I see
because you know, some people come here with a particular type of money because they know they'll be able to buy certain types of products at the Malcolm X Festival that reflects our culture and our sense of self-determination. I think that since it was started by people who are oriented towards self-determination, it becomes an important institution for our people. And like I said, going on 32 years, you know, a lot of times we start organizations, we start groups, and they don't last. Because, you know, and see, one of the things is, you know, I don't really work in organizing the festival no more, because the two young women who are emceeing right now, they were part of our youth group.
Really?
The school my wife started, Quilombo. My daughter runs it now. So it's about instilling and investing in our youth. And so this is why we have youth performances. The Quilombo students, we have TSK Academy, we have the New African Scouts and Panthers that Tupac Shakur belonged to. That's how long it's been going on. He was in the first meetings here in Atlanta when he was 18. But so investing in our youth is a way for the struggle to continue, but we have to also be consistent.
That's awesome. And consistent has always been, Baba.
Yes, sir.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, man.
Much love.
You got to come on the show again so we can talk
I'll
some
come
more,
back.
man.
I'll come back. Yeah, I'm excited about y'all doing it.
Yes, and we're excited and thankful for you still doing this and keeping the commitment going, yo. Thank you, Baba.
Asante-san, I appreciate it.
All right. Yo, this is a wrap on the Elly Show, episode 8, Malcolm X Festival, celebrating 32 years. It's been awesome. Y'all make some noise for this awesomeness. What up, son? Yeah, y'all.
Got my peeps.
That's a wrap, y'all. Y'all stay tuned for episode 9. It's the Elly Show. Huh? Oh, so we got more? All right, the producers want to keep rolling. So we got one more. So y'all scratch that again. I've been saying that for a minute. And we got one more guest coming up. So y'all stay tuned on the Elly Show.
We keep feeding you the truth, regardless of what you